Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to r/TodayIF, an amazing subreddit where we can find some of the best stories on Reddit, if not all of the internet. And this first one by user/DenaldTremp is absolutely no exception, so let's get straight into it. Most early morning runs, I do start off like this. Wake up at 5 AM, think strongly for 5 minutes why staying in bed is the better option. Make myself the strongest coffee I can handle, read the news for half an hour, and take a poop. Once this routine is done, I'll stick my running gear on and run anywhere between 5 and 15 kilometers. I'm a fairly okay runner. Over the Christmas period and up until today, I just simply haven't had the time to run. 18-hour days, kids, wife, etc. And now, story time. I'm sitting on the sofa just shy of midnight. Dead tired, but also craving a curry. Go to the fridge and bingo. Thai red curry ready meal. Amazing. Popped it in the microwave for 3 minutes and sat back on the sofa with my glass of wine. 1:30 AM, I wake up slumped on the sofa and glance at the clock, and my first horrifying thought is I've just wasted £3.40 on a ready meal. I'm still hungry though, so back into the kitchen, microwave for another 3 minutes, another glass of wine, and I enjoy my inappropriately timed dinner. 5 AM alarm goes off, and to my amazement, I'm wide awake. My first thought is to get my running gear on, and so out come the shorts and hoodie. I make my way downstairs and neck a liter of water, forgetting all about my coffee, probably because I feel wide awake. Read the news for 5 minutes, grab my keys, lock the door, and press start on my Nike app. It's going well. I'm plodding along at just over 4 minutes per kilometer pace and enjoying being the only person brave enough to be out in 2-degree weather. My legs are feeling good and I'm planning the days ahead and having a lovely conversation with myself. Not wanting to overdo it, I decided at 4 kilometers to start heading back. It's now about a 3-kilometer stretch of straight road with a 24-hour Tesco 1.5 k's from my house. I always up the pace as it's slightly downhill and I like to take advantage of looking better than I actually am. 3:20 per kilometer show up, 3:10 per kilometer came, then 3 minutes per kilometer. I was flying, super happy, nothing was going to stop me. Until I'm 100 yards from Tesco and have to slow right down to catch my breath. I've obviously lost a bit of fitness over the past month of not running. No worries, I thought, couple minutes walking and I'll jog the rest of the way home. Then came the need to take a poo. It seemed more urgent than other times I've needed to go after a run. Do I stop in Tesco? Nope, I better get home. Nothing worse than pooping in a public toilet. So I began to jog, not really thinking about the readiness of my butthole. I'm now halfway between my house and Tesco, 700 meters till my home. My cautionary jog was suddenly halted abruptly, like I had just run straight into a wall. My butt is ready to explode. Holy I said out loud. The sheer need for me to go has gone from a 3 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. Now, I've been at a 9 out of 10 a few times in my life, so although desperate, I composed myself and focused on getting home. I started to run, quickly. Very quickly. 200 meters down and bang, the brick wall. I've gone from a 9 out of 10 to if I don't get home in 20 seconds, I'm finding a bush. I can't go in a bush, not in a respectable area. I'll be arrested and thrown in jail for the rest of my life. I'm half a kilometer from my house. I'm 27, fit and healthy. I'm making it home. I start sprinting, I'm breaking records. I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt would not keep up with me right now. The road just disappeared beneath my feet. A couple of turns and I get into my road with my keys ready in my hand. I'm 50 meters from my door and I can't sprint anymore. I walk. My butt at this point feels like the exit of a concrete mixer, holding back the entire weight of the world. I'm 10 meters from my door, practically in tears. My butt clenched so tight, I thought I was going to snap my spine. Oh no. It was then. My body and mind just gave up in one swift motion. I was reminded about what it was like to be a baby again. I just full on let it go. This was not a clean sausage. This was a full on bad stomach. In a panic, I dived between the wife's car and the side of the house. I'm praying at this point I'm dreaming. Realizing it's not a dream, I'm praying no neighbor is watching. What the F? How has my life come to this point, I said. Do I strip off here and walk around the side of the house naked? Do I hop the garden wall and hide my ruined everything in a bush? No. There was not an easy way out. I just have to go inside and clean up. I check my legs and there's no evidence. My tight-fitting boxers have done a splendid job of holding the unwanted contents. I walk around the house and let myself in. To my horror, both kids and the wife are up way too early. I think it was roughly 6 AM and she's doing her makeup and getting them ready for school. Babe, I've had an accident. In a panic, she runs down the stairs and I explain, I've pooped myself. She basically didn't believe me, and in her grumpy morning ways, went back upstairs. I waddle upstairs to the bathroom, and without thinking, just jump straight into the shower and drop everything. Holy mother, I nearly collapsed from the sight and the smell. The cleanup process began. It wasn't going well at all. The hot steamy shower was exponentially making the smell worse with every passing minute. So bad, in fact, that my kids and wife all entered the bathroom at once and all just stared at me in complete disappointment for a brief moment before exiting and bursting into fits of laughter. Daddy's pooped himself! I'm telling everyone! Ha 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 ha! My wife joined in with the jokes while asking me exactly what happened. The realization of what's occurring is now setting in. I'm stood in the shower in dark brown water with bits of poop floating around my ankles. And just as things seemingly can't get any worse, the water starts rising gradually up my legs because my poop has blocked the plug hole. Oh, and I now remember, the estate agent is coming round at 9 AM to value the house. Happy running, everyone! And if you go into the comments, people share plenty of similar stories. So what's my takeaway from this? Well, running clearly makes you poop yourself, so just don't go running. And here's our next post by user/Commander Reload. Setting the scene, I, 36 male at the time, and my older sibling, 41 female, were working through our recently deceased mother's 74 female possessions in order to clear her house. We stumbled upon her Kindle during our room cleanup, and my sister came out with the fatal line. Oh, she used to love reading. I know she's bought tons of books from Amazon over the years. I wonder what she's read recently. Blithely, I opened up my mother's Kindle library, and well, for those who can't be bothered to open the photos, they're a small sample of the titles she had purchased. I snapped these photos in a moment of insanity, but felt the need to keep some sort of evidence. Diapered for pay and breeding with my sleeping wife are particular gems. However, hot cooking slapper takes on a new dimension when you consider her former occupation as a chef. Suffice to say, the expression on my face made my sister grab it out of my hands. Turning bright red, she muttered, I knew I shouldn't have introduced her to 50 Shades. And for those of you interested in the rest of these titles, I won't say them out loud for the sake of the YouTube algorithm, but the link to the story is in the comments down below, so feel free to go down there and check out the titles for yourself. And here's our next post by user/LWeber23. My daughter just turned 3. Her communication skills are getting better by the day. So that day, for some reason, her tummy was giving her issues, so she was being difficult about eating. It was a cycle of her saying she was hungry, then a little back and forth about what's going to be eaten, and finally, her taking one bite and saying she's done. Not even saying there was a problem. Literally, cool, this was good, I'm full for the next 3 minutes. After applesauce, PB&J and pasta being prepared for no reason, I got the third all done 30 seconds after dropping the plate with her, and I got a little frustrated. Real quick side note, I try not to give my daughter too much of the baby talk, as in, I don't like having to dumb things down if it's unnecessary. Especially because I'm bilingual, so there's a whole other layer of development that I gotta be mindful of when I freely swap between languages. So I try to keep it fairly down to earth if I can, to help her in the long run, unless we're playing or some other situation where I would be in character. Anyway, so I'm a little frustrated and I'm in casual mode. So after the third failed meal, I slip up and I go, "Oh, come on, man. Are you effing with me?" And without missing a beat, she goes, "No, I'm not effing with you." And it just kinda stopped me in my tracks. It was supposed to be more of a comment I mumbled to myself, but she fed it right back to me and I kinda wanted to laugh, but also kinda felt embarrassed for it. While also having to let her know that I'd prefer if she didn't say that for reasons. Yeah, I know it's not all that crazy, but I thought it was kinda noteworthy one way or another and couldn't think of a better sub to share it on. And actually, fun fact, I've heard that children learn their first swear word by the age of 2. Yep, that's right. Your average 2-year-old knows how to swear, so I guess kids are a bit smarter than we think. And here's our next post by user/Mr. Dre. Over the weekend, I decided to catch a ferry to Pulau Ubin, a small island off the coast of Singapore. For context, from the ferry terminal, one simply exits the door marked Pulau Ubin and boards a 12-person bumboat. The boats leave irregularly only once they're full, and the cash payment is made on board. When I arrived to the ferry terminal, a large group was boarding, so I joined the crowd down the path and settled in. As 3 boats pulled away, I noticed a general look of misery on board. Certainly, far more than I would expect from a visit to a beautiful tropical island. Some people carried flowers. With horror, I realized that I'd somehow gatecrashed a burial at sea. I sat there for an hour trying to sink into my chair while the boats rafted up and performed the ceremony. A Buddhist monk scattered the ashes and performed prayers, whilst others threw flower petals into the ocean. I felt terrible. And after some time, the boat headed back to shore, leaving me no closer to where I was going. And here's our next post by user/Hercover. Obligatory, this didn't happen today. It happened about 2 months ago at a national conference in my field that I was invited to speak at. The conference started out great. Met lots of cool people, made some good connections, did my speaking that morning. Then, lunch comes along. It was buffet style, and the start of it has a bunch of different cheeses you choose from. About halfway down the buffet line, I see what looks like another large plate of a single type of cheese. Thinking that the hotel just has a hard-on for giving people cheese options, I take a few. I get back to my table and eat and talk with other conference goers and finally get to the last bit of cheese I took. I eat 2 sticks of it, it's weirdly soft and not at all like the other cheeses. One person gave me this odd look of concern. I eat a 3rd stick of it and think this is way too soft to be cheese, so what the F is it? Internal panic ensues when I realize it's butter. And I just ate a bunch of it in front of a table full of my peers. Well hey, it had to have been pretty damn good butter if you ate a few sticks of it before you realized. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed this little video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel for edit videos every second day. But with that said, that is it from me. I hope you all enjoyed, and all I want to do is see you all here next time. See you later, guys.